Today on Florida Sportsman, Project Dreamboat. At Two Rivers, the Donzi 38 receives some very custom upgrades from top to bottom. The Bertram 25 restoration, completed at Wildfire Marine, is put to work on the Thousand Islands in New York.
It's a tremendous boat, and it has grossly exceeded my expectations.
George LaBonte joins Barney Stodz on his beautifully restored 27-foot Rambo.
Barney's lifetime of experience with a wide variety of boats gave him plenty of insight for exactly how he wanted this Rambo project to be completed.
And the crew at TRB unveils the refreshed 38 Donzi to her owner.
It's been an absolute pleasure working on this project for Jeff and making this dream come true.
All coming up on Florida Sportsman, Project Dreamboat. Join us as we follow one-off builds to all-out restorations in Stuart, Florida's Dreamboat District, home to some of the best custom boat builders in the world. From modest to over-the-top, industry experts from the district's premier facilities show how it's done. Fiberglass repair, custom paintwork, engine rigging, electronics installations, and more. And boating editor George LaBonte shares the stories of boaters who have already turned their dreams into reality. This is Florida Sportsman Project Dreamboat.
So over at TRB, we're busy working on the 38 Donzi for Jeff Schellenberger. One of the things that Jeff knew he wanted to get done to the boat was update the dash. We had Dale come up with some really nice ideas for some acrylic panels. So he got a new acrylic panel behind the screens, he got a new switch panel, and then he got a cover plate to go over the switches. So the guys did a fabulous job installing them. Dale did a really great job making the panels. I think it came together really well. I know Jeff's really gonna like the panel that we came up with. So another main thing that Jeff wanted to add to the boat after he saw it was a bow thruster. We called the pros in on this one. Florida Bow Thrusters is coming to install the bow thruster for us. They've done it thousands of times. They know the drill by now. We know that we could hire them and they could get the job done for us. We wouldn't have to think twice about it.
To begin this custom installation, the proper mounting location for the thruster is determined, marked, and a large drill bit is used to create a center point. Next, a hole saw matched to the size of the thruster propeller housing is used to cut through the hull. Once through both sides, the propeller housing, a 12-inch PVC pipe, is inserted through the opening, and the edges of the hull are traced onto it. The PVC is then removed and cut to fit flush with the hull. With the insert cut to size, the edges of the opening are sanded down so the PVC can be permanently fiberglassed into place. While the hull is prepped for glasswork, Pacer marine-grade electrical wire is run from the bilge to the helm, then to the bow, where the bow thruster motor will be mounted. The thruster computer is mounted in the bilge compartment and connected to the existing batteries. At the helm, a small joystick is mounted to provide easy control. With the tube fit flush to the hull, a resin putty is used to fill all voids. Once dry, each side is sanded down to a flush, smooth finish. Now it's time to permanently bond the tube to the hull. Small strips of fiberglass are cut, soaked in resin, and applied to the sanded area. Multiple layers of glass are applied to achieve the desired thickness. To further strengthen the bond, another layer of fiberglass strips are cut, dipped in resin, and laid on the interior edges of the tube. To finalize the connection between the new thruster tube and the hull, fiberglass is laid on the outside of the PVC tube and the interior hull walls. Once the glass is dry, it's sanded down to match the exterior gel coat thickness, and a filler is used to even out any imperfections. Next, the area is prepped for blending, aiming to give the new thruster a factory-installed appearance. Matching gel coat is brushed onto the interior edges of the tube, and each hull side is sprayed with multiple coats to achieve a smooth, glossy finish. The area inside of the bow, where the motor will be mounted, is also painted to cover up the exposed fiberglass. With the tube completely installed and the gel coat dry, a hole is drilled into the center of the tube to test fit the motor and propeller before permanently mounting them into place. The propeller is placed on the motor to ensure none of the blades will rub the edge. Once a perfect fit is verified, the motor is installed into place and connected to the supplied power source. To complete the installation, the hull is buffed to a beautiful shine, and the propeller is secured into place.
Yeah, so now that the bow thruster is installed, I was thoroughly impressed with the crew that showed up. The guys were really clean. They fit right in. They knocked it out in 2 days. I really am really impressed with the job that they did on the bow thruster install.
When we return, we join Dreamboat owner Dave Taylor aboard his Wildfire restored Bertram 25.
This segment brought to you by Fiberglass Coatings, the largest selection of fiberglass materials in the United States.
FGCI is a leading supplier of composite materials, family-owned for over 60 years and headquartered right here in Florida. We have the materials and technical expertise to service manufacturers, repair professionals, and DIYers alike. Our gel coat color matching is a favorite of seasoned professionals and weekend warriors. Access our online store at fgci.com, call to speak with a product specialist, or visit our stores in Fort Lauderdale or St. Petersburg. FGCI is your partner on boat projects big and small.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman, Project Dreamboat. Join us as we explore the beautiful Thousand Islands with Dave Taylor aboard his classic Bertram 25, recently overhauled at Wildfire Marine.
Here at Wildfire, we just got finished wrapping up David Taylor's 25-foot Bertram conversion. We pulled out his old outdrives and engines, added a bracket for a pair of outboards. The extra space that he gained inside was great. We put a new floor panel up forward and one towards the transom where the engine box was. Then we went ahead and added some more seating to it, so he can seat about 8 people in there now comfortably. The boat runs great. We took it up to, delivered it up to Thousand Islands for Dave, and we spent a few days up there with him. We took the boat out a few times, and it's just a great place. It's a paradise. We got a chance to tour the island. There's no bridges or anything. Everything is done by boat. You want to go grocery shopping, you jump in the boat and you go to the mainland and go grocery shopping. The boat is a really good fit for where he lives.
At the turn of the century, in 1900, the Thousand Islands was one of the premier vacation spots in America. It's considered one of the greatest freshwater boating environments in the world. It's a very intricate waterway. The river averages 10 miles wide, and there are 1,800 islands out there. But it has a natural, undeveloped beauty to it.
People have been living here for hundreds of years, and because everybody lives on islands, everybody used boats. This is your vehicle, and so there's a really big boating history up here, and a lot of the older boats were built up in this area, all the New England craftsman type deal, and they have a big museum where you can actually go out on some of the boats. Some of the boats are in the water. There's a big history for them here, and it's really popular up here.
It's a mandatory thing where we live. You're in it virtually every day. You go to dinner in it. When your friends come to visit, you go to pick them up. And I decided to get my boating inventory down to a bigger boat for up here that could handle the rougher water, bigger groups of people. My wife's center console 20-footer, and then kind of a play toy, which is the triple cockpit Garwood. But the biggest problem with this boat was that the straight sixes in there had a monstrous engine box in the back, and there was no room in the boat. And what I heard about the boat from Armstrong was, they said, oh my God, when you put a bracket on this boat, it's got more room in it than a 31. You've got that much more deck space.
When we were discussing the project, Dave's biggest concern by going to a bracket was whether we were going to change the balance too much and whether it was going to be bow light. I explained to him that Armstrong builds their brackets individually for each boat. I told him, look, we make the bracket deeper, so we'll compensate for the extra weight being moved from the inside the bilge to on the transom, and that would keep the boat statically the same way it was when it had the stern drives in it. We moved his batteries forward to also help out. The boat sits great. So he was happy with it, and I was too. I mean, it worked out great.
It comes right up out of the water. It's got a top end on it north of 50 miles an hour. I almost don't want to go that fast. My wife certainly doesn't. She starts yelling, whatever. And then the balance of the boat, we basically just wanted Mike at Wildfire Marine to set the boat up so there's storage inside the boxes, and then we've got seating, and we've got the capability for taking 8 people out on the boat where they're dry. If they've got luggage with them, fine. If we're going out for a cocktail or a dinner cruise. And this gives me weather protection and just a new dimension.
All in all, it's a really good project. It's a new life for boats, older boats like that, when you put brackets on them, get rid of the engine and all that space that they take up. He wants to go fishing, he wants to take a bunch of people to dinner. Anything he wants to do, that boat will take care of it.
It's a tremendous boat, and it has grossly exceeded my expectations.
When we come back, George LaBonte joins Dreamboat owner Barney Stodz aboard his 27-foot Rambo in this week's Mans Dreamboat segment. This segment brought to you by Suzuki Marine, the ultimate outboard motor.
Go to SuzukiMarine.com to find a dealer near you.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman Project Dreamboat. Join us for this one Mans Dreamboat segment with Florida Sportsman boating editor George LaBonte as we feature anglers who have already launched their dream. Florida Sportsman began these features 30 years ago, and the dreams just keep getting better.
For some people, one dreamboat isn't enough. In fact, that's exactly the case with today's show, where we join Barney Stodz in Jensen Beach to have a look at not one, but 2 dreamboats. One in the works, and another one, a boat that he's using today.
I've always tinkered with everything since I was a little kid, and the love for the water came early on. We've enjoyed fixing and tinkering with boats, and I've made quite a few custom boats out of stuff that I've happened upon. And we're in the middle of building a big twin-engine ultralight adventure class cruiser. It's a sloop sailboat with outriggers and a fighting chair, 2 Yanmar engines, and we're gonna go tour and do some fishing with that. It's gonna be interesting. And when we put the outriggers on that boat, I said that we had taken sport fishing back a century with that one. About 7 years we've been building this big sloop. We needed a tow-behind boat because we needed the second boat. Eric, who's working on the big boat, doing most if not all of the composite work, had a 27 Rambo sitting in the back of his shop that he had started working on, and he told me he sold it for $2,500. I told him, I said, oh man, I said, I would have given you $3,500 for it. So he comes back in, tells me 2 days later that the guy didn't pay him. Would you give me the $3,500? And I said, well, I'll give you the $3,500. And so I gave him the $3,500, and that was about 3 years ago. And so we started working on it, and Eric had already done a lot of the work on it.
Barney's lifetime of experience with a wide variety of boats gave him plenty of insight for exactly how he wanted this Rambo project to be completed.
So originally when the boat was constructed, there was a lot of wood in there. So we got back in there and took the rest of the wood out and put all composite stuff in there and replaced the floor with a composite floor. Did not have a console. We ordered the console from Lou because I like the taller console, because at some point I will put a tower on it. We chose a Bobby Birdsall rocket launcher. And so I went to Bob and had him build me a rocket launcher, along with another part for the console. I went down there going through his shop and I found a toe kick for the console, which gives a lot of added room. You can close in the rocket launcher a little bit to the console. Gives you a little bit more room out back. I had him change the angle of the rod holders in the back so they're almost straight up and down, so you aren't running into them as you go around. Eric had glassed in the transom and added a live well, and he put some seating up front So we've added a couple of interesting features on it to make it so it not only as a fishing boat, but as a tender. I have a slide-in backrest and a cushion that goes over the lid of the live well, which seats almost 3 people. So on the front of the boat, we installed a grab bar, which is multi-purpose. It's got 2 rod holders on it. And so we like to sight fish. So we'll chase the fish around and see if we see something. And it allows you to get up on the front and hold on, and there's a rod right there. You'll also use it to get on and off the boat. The engine package that we chose was the 300 Yamaha. But the Yamaha is awesome. Right now the bottom of the boat has not been finished. It has not been bottom painted. It's still a little rough. We're running at maximum at about just about 50, and about 24, we're getting almost 3.5 miles to the gallon, and she's been spot on. I mean, the motor is everything they ever said it would be, and it has an entry on it that is like a knife. So if you're cruising and you get into the chop, you tab it down, and it'll eat it up. It'll also float in about 10 inches of water, which will make it great for going to the Bahamas. She's a pretty well-behaved boat. We've enjoyed the heck out of it. It does what we need to do. We like to do a little bit of fishing. We do a little bit of cruising. And I think we built it to accommodate both fairly well.
After he completed the 27 Rambo project, this boat proved to be a perfect platform for Barney's family to enjoy relaxing days on the water, cruising and fishing.
She's not one of a kind, but she might be the best of her kind, you know. So, I mean, we enjoy it, and we're looking forward to tying the one to the other, and maybe, hopefully at some point, we'll get a picture of all 3 boats together, and it'll be like a dream come true.
After an initial investment of $3,500 and spending approximately $46,500 on repairs and custom modifications, the cost of Barney's Dreamboat comes to a total of $50,000. When we come back, the experts at TRB unveil and splash the refreshed Donzi 38. This segment brought to you by Birdsall Marine Design. Quality marine accessories built to stand the test of time.
Birdsall Marine Design has been a leader in aftermarket and custom boating accessories for over 35 years. Based in West Palm Beach, our facility specializes in the manufacturing of custom T-tops, leaning posts, consoles, rod holders, marine canvas and upholstery products, and a wide variety of anodized aluminum hardware. Come visit our spacious West Palm Beach facility anytime, or visit us on the web at birdsallmarine.com to learn more about our most innovative products.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman, Project Dreamboat. Join us as the experts at TRB unveil and splash the refreshed Donzi 38.
So now that the Donzi project is finally done, the detail crew did an amazing job. The boat's nice and shiny. It looks like a brand new boat again. Royce and the crew are up on the boat, just going over everything. Jeff is on his way right now. Really excited to see his reaction and what he thinks about the boat when he first sees it.
So while we're prepping the boat, I grabbed Tate so we can throw the taco shade fin up in the boat and see how that works. We chose not to read any directions because it's a pretty simple install. He likes to do some cruising around, some sandbar, some fishing, just like we all do, and we all like to get out of the sun eventually, so it's a great thing to have on the boat. Before I even know it, Jeff's pulling in, and he hasn't seen the boat in almost a year. So I'm ready to see the look on his face.
Oh my God, look at this thing. What's up?
Jeff, how you doing? Nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Oh my gosh, this is sweet. Oh, that's that taco thing.
That's the sunshade, yep.
Yes, man, you guys have done a great job. Dang. And that's the hole they put in.
That's the hole they drilled right through the side of the boat there.
That's not gonna leak, right?
No, absolutely not.
That is amazing.
Wait till you see the inside.
I'm ready, I'm ready. Can we get up there?
Absolutely.
It's your boat, let's go.
Oh man, I like this sea deck. This turned out sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Interior turned out nice. Ooh, look at this dash. Ah. Oh my gosh. This is so sweet. Every man's dream is a Donzi. Mine finally came through after 60 years of my life.
So this Donzi has been Jeff's dream for a long time. He's put a lot of thought into it and been very patient. When he first saw the dash, the complete remake of the dash, he was just dumbfounded. He could not believe how good it looked, and he is just stoked.
I like that taco thing.
Oh,
now
yeah.
that slides out and then you just put it away.
Yep, it just sticks in a rod holder.
It folds in and folds, you know, kind of tucks away nice and sleek, and then you can pull it out of the rod holder, stick it down inside the cabin if you want to take it out, or you can run with it, you know, closed in.
So when Jeff bought the boat, it had a generator in it, but someone had already pulled the generator out. We decided to convert it to an inverter system with batteries, and that was one of the really big parts of the job. It was really cool once it was done, and we were all really, really happy with the way it turned out.
So this is the inverter battery setup. Inverter's right there, kind of right under you. This is the house side of the boat for your engines and your house battery.
Now, do these
Fire
charge off
system.
the engine then when I'm running or no?
No, they don't.
Only when I plug in.
Yes.
On shore power, yeah.
Yes.
You'll get, how long? 5 or 6 hours running like that?
Yeah, you'll be able to run your AC and everything for about 5 or 6 hours.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
Jeff is obviously thrilled with the way the boat turned out, but we haven't even got the boat to the water yet, so I'm sure once we get out there and we're running this thing, he's gonna bring it to a whole new level.
Jeff has told me before that he's owned multiple Donzis before, and he's kind of a speed freak. So one of the first things he wanted to do once the boat hit the water was go do some wide open runs and stretch his legs out, see what it could really do.
62!
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
My goal was to have one of the nicest 38 ZSFs out there, and it's accomplished it. And it's basically like a brand new boat now, so I'm ready to burn some fuel.
So Jeff has been a very patient customer, one of our best. I know he has been dreaming of that boat the way it is now for a long time, and it's a fairy tale ending.
Next week on Florida Sportsman, Project Dreamboat. The custom Hydra Step at TRB gets lit with a high-end LED lighting package from Lumashore. We take a ride with Mike and Debbie of Wildfire Marine on their personal passion project, a hand-built racing catamaran. George LaBonte checks out a very custom skiff built by Reeve Abrabin. And Dale at TRB launches the faux wood Hydra Step project.